We're back at it, 7 a.m. on the live stream. What's today? Wednesday? Waiting for a second to make sure all my streams are up. We're good on Facebook, good on Twitch, good on YouTube, double good on YouTube, I think. Yes, sir. Got my very bland gray shirt on today, and we're. Oh. Look at that. Let's see if sound's working well. Sound. Yes, we're good. We're good to go. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. We're live on stream. We're here for a few reasons and a few reasons only. One, we want to help people feel more connected in their life. We do that in real life with the Austin Dog Parent Social Club, where we host one event per month, but we want to do that on the stream every morning with answering community questions and communication questions such that people can take that information back into their real life. And when they take that information back into their real life, we want them to build closer relationships with the people they care about. So that's what we're looking for on the stream with helping people feel more connected. We're also looking to give people a laugh with some dog poop horror stories, some favorite dog stories. No call-ins for those. I don't have any new ones of my own because all my poop scoops have been very mild. But if you do have one, come on the stream, share it, give everybody a good laugh. You can come on with any four of these topics by calling in or texting in to 512-591-6138. Again, that's 512-591-6138. I just turned off Do Not Disturb, so I will get your text. I will hear your message, and we look forward to having you on. In the meantime, we will be trading, and we'll be checking out some community segments and some communication segments that, just help give people advice, spark my memory about some stories in my own life. But while we're waiting on that, we will check the markets. Let's see what we've done in the markets. There's news at like 1 p.m. So last I checked, we popped into a fair value gap at a 1 hour fair value gap at 12 a.m. So that's an internal. It didn't hit what would have been my stop loss if this was on the 1 minute. So I would say that's still valid. And we're headed towards the external, which is at 3 a.m. And we just kind of had a push down after a push up. Let's see. Did not create a fair value gap. Did not create a fair value gap. So it has CISD'd towards sell side. We're looking for another CISD towards buy side. And when we get that, we can enter. As long as it's in a discount, we'll go ahead and long it towards the high here. What I don't like about this is we're pretty overextended, I would say. Like, we're at the top of the market. So longing it to take the high again, it's not something I really like to do. But doesn't matter what I like. We're trading the strategy. And at 12 a.m., there was a bullish fair value gap formed. At 4 a.m., within that hour, it tapped into that, went really low to test it, didn't break what would be the stop loss, and started coming back up. And it's pushed up, had some rejection, pushed up, had some rejection. So, there hasn't been a CISD in the other way. So as of now, the liquidity to liquidity play is this internal liquidity at this 12 a.m. fair value gap to this external liquidity at this 3 a.m. high. And we are waiting for a CISD on the 1 minute, which means we'll need a high created, which there's a few highs it could take right now. We'll need a bullish fair value gap. And then we'll have to enter that after it's in the discount. So if we get all that, we'll be good to go. If we don't, we won't. So that's that. So guys, this is one of those days where I could probably get a trade any minute. So I'll kind of be back and forth between streaming and trading today. But I'll be trying to do a good job about looking at y'all's comments and such. Yeah. So we're going to start with a stream segment. We're going to go ahead Hmm. Yeah, we'll go through this in a second. Just honestly, gonna smile small. Gotta check the markets. Give me a second. Just try and make this clip good for you guys, and then we can dive into it a bit more. Okay, hold on now. We got a bullish fair value gap starting to form at 708, and it might take this high on this next candle, which means once it pops back into that fair value gap, I'll be taking it long, which I don't really like this. This doesn't look too hot, guys. I won't lie. Okay, so it just took that high, which means we've had a bullish fair value gap and a CISD, which means we will be entering this trade at 26.27675, 26.27075. So 6-point stop loss, which means we're at 16 contracts. Oof. Let's see if it comes back to fill me. If we buy there, that'll be our stop. Our target will be 26.288.75. We'll be on it with 16. Okay, so we just changed the risk a little bit to 7 points, which means we're going in with 14 contracts now. 277.50. With a 270.50 stop loss. And a 291.50 target, which is 14 points. Looks like it might fill me here in a second. And then hopefully skyrocket up. We had our fair value gap, we had our CISD, and we're trading it when it pops into the discount. We're going to long it. We just need it to pop back to fill us. And while we're waiting on that, we'll go ahead and oh, guys, it's coming soon. Like, I want to jump into the stream segment, but I also have to make sure I set my stop loss and stuff. We're buying, so we'll be selling 14. Here we go. About to get filled. Just got filled. Ooh. Okay, so we're in the trade, but you guys know I like to journal as quickly as possible. So I'm going to journal the hour chart right now. Basically, our idea was from this fair value gap. Fair value gap to this high. So it went deep into it, but didn't disrespect it. This was at all-time highs. So 277.50, 291.50. So if we get to 284.50, we're at break even. So we'll be looking forward to that. Right now we're at 281. So we need 3 more points really to get to break even. See if we can get a good pop up here. Take us to break even. That'd be nice. 284.50. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I think we're about to get there. There we go. Break even. Sorry, guys. We just had somebody. We run apartment life, and we just had a resident to a group message where they tagged me specifically. So I was like, is something going on? Do I need to go help with something? But they were just asking for our help on a little event that they might want to host. So let me go back to journaling this trade, then focus back on the stream. I'm sure Gracie and I will talk about that later when we're both in the same room doing our thing. All right. So did I take a snip of this hour chart? I have not. I got too caught up with moving to break even. So give me a second, guys. Start journaling this trade. So now we're going to save this. This is trade 6 on the 1 hour. Now we are going to pop into the 1 minute. And where did we enter this trade? We entered at 277.50, I believe, right? Yep. And we took it long. The stop loss is 270.50. Oof. I don't like the look of that. Target is 291.50. Let's see. So guys, we were up a good amount. Now it's headed towards break even. Might just stop me at break even, which would be a little tough because we were 3 points away from target. Which means we were probably up like $300 or something like that. That sucks. Yeah, we're about to get tagged. Unless something crazy happens and it just flips around. But we got to keep journaling. I'm not done yet. Got to open up Google Drive. And that was close to a $400 winner. Let's see. Yeah, I think I just got tagged at break even. Ugh, so annoying. So annoying, guys. So annoying. Well, I mean, we're still going from that fair value up to that high. Jeez. 2 break evens in a row that were like solid, like up there trades. It makes it harder. I don't know if I remember, like, I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm like freaking basically 1 trade from getting funded. I'm really 2 trades, but it's like 1.2 trades. And every time I get like $300 to a winner and then end up making $0, it's like I could have just taken both those off at $300, 1.5R, and like been good, you know? So that's like, it's a frustrating thing, but you don't want to think like that because it'll ruin your psychology when it comes to trading. You'll start changing stuff. And that's no bueno. So we were in the discount on the 1 minute. There was a bullish fair value gap after CISD. We ended up getting a break-even result. Target, I don't even remember. Oof. But see, now we're happy we went break-even because I was going to our stop. $26,277.50. I'm a little messed up. I won't lie. We entered that. We made no mistakes on this trade, so that's always good. Got really close to stopping us out, but didn't quite stop us out. 26,277.50. And we did that at 7:13 a.m. No mistakes, just a break even. And that's okay. Yeah, this is kind of tough. All right, guys, almost done journaling this trade. Then we can jump into this segment, which I'm actually pretty excited to talk about. Just give me a second. It's a little bit's enough. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, tough. Tough, 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 tough. Okay. So we'll keep looking at the market every now and then. I do want to remind you guys, we do have to close this stream down 10 minutes early today because I have a work meeting at 8 that I want to hop on for. So let's go ahead and jump into this segment. Check the chat real quick. See if anybody's on. See if anybody's chatting me. See if anybody's texting me. Nope, we're good to go. No text-ins, no call-ins. We're going to go ahead and go through this segment real quick. Oh, but first, I have to make this hook a bit more viral, guys. You gotta go viral. So you gotta make the hooks viral. Let's see. Also, what I'm learning about video making, which this is what I'll read this to you guys later, but I do need some help from the stream. Okay, here we go. So, guys, when we're talking about communication, one of the things in communication is connection. That's the big thing that you want to do when you're communicating with people. You want to connect with them. One of the ways to connect with people is to smile. I know that's crazy, but a good smile goes a long way. And the specific action we're talking about today when it comes to smiling in order to connect with people is smiling even on those low energy days. So a lot of people might ask the question, I had a tough day at work, or I didn't get good sleep last night. I woke up and my kids were doing this. My dog was doing this. And that kind of put a damper on the day, or it's raining outside, or the stock market just lost my money, or yada, yada, yada. There's endless reasons to not be happy. There's endless reasons to not be in a good mood. So if you're asking the question, how can I go up to somebody and smile when I'm not in a good mood? This is for you. So let me make sure I'm good to go. Okay, here we go. Gotta get these clips for social media, gotta tell my VA at what point in the recording. So at minute 25, this started. I'll text her afterwards. So you don't have to be happy to make friends. Some days you just don't have that social spark, and that's okay. You can still make small moments matter without forcing fake energy in these 3 ways. The first, you want to show up honestly. Be a little vulnerable and tell people where you're at. Tell them how your day went and said, I cared enough about you to show up, but I'm not where I usually am. Are you okay with that? Show up honestly. The second thing you can do is do more than you usually would to engage with people. Because you're having some negative emotional experience right now, your baseline has decreased. So Going over the top of what you feel like you should do will return you to baseline and make those interactions a bit more normal. The third thing, smile small. It's not performance, but it is a choice. We don't want to fake some huge smile where we're all over the place, but we do want to take the time to giggle at something or to laugh or to smile at a good memory, because by smiling small, we can start to change how we feel. These are just a few ways to act yourself out of a bad mood / low energy day into being a good and present friend. All right. I like that. We're going to text my VA real quick to tell her where to clip. Clip starts 25 minutes, 10:29. So I do want to talk a little bit more about that segment, because I've done this a lot, guys. When I was growing up, I was life could be tough, you know, and I was anxious and I was a people pleaser. Like, very seldom did I feel happy or feel relaxed or feel good. And everybody goes through a few years of their life where they feel like that. And if you haven't gone through them, they're probably coming at some point, because life gets us all, you know? But yeah, you know, when I was younger, I struggled, but I had to learn how to smile. And I know I've told this story on the stream before, but because, you know, my mom said, as a larger Black person, you want to be more smiley than not, because it makes people feel safe around you. Whether she was right or wrong, I think she was right, because I've seen it like literally live. Smiling is just better across the board, whether you're Black or not. You should smile, and it's good to smile. It shows that you're happy. It shows people that you're warm and welcoming. But it's also like, if I'm not smiling, what's going on? Ooh, this is a good story. When I got to college, little tangent on the fake smiling. I was asked what emotion I could not control. It was like this, there weren't a lot of people of color at Davidson. So at the beginning of the year, we would all get together, especially the freshmen coming in, and this organization would host this kind of weekend long event for you guys. And you would talk to each other, get to know the other people of color on campus, because there just weren't many of us. And at this like week or day long event or 4 hour, I forgot how long it was, but they asked us what emotion we couldn't control. And I was like, you know, I've been able to control all my emotions for a long time. If I'm angry, people won't know it. If I'm sad, people won't know it. But I can't control my happiness. And that was a big deal for me, because I could control all my emotions. Like, I was able to hide anger, hide sadness, hide anxiety, hide all of these things that I would feel and act despite them. But happiness wasn't something to act despite of. Like, it was a positive out of my reach, not a negative to run away from. And you know what? You can clip that, my VA. She told me to make some hand signals when I snapped 4 times. But I think that's important, because it's easy to run from stuff, but it's hard to run towards something when you don't know what it looks like. It's hard to have a great day when you don't know what a great day looks like. And that's something I was struggling with a lot. And so you don't have to fake happy to make friends. Yes, that's what we're talking about right now. But if you are having to fake happy continuously in your life, and you've gone through a stretch of years where you're faking happy, it might be time to stop and reevaluate your life and be like, what would it look like for me to actually be happy? What would need to occur for me to actually feel good about my days? And maybe it's nothing. And if it's nothing, maybe the thing that needs to occur is you letting go of the notion that you should feel good. Like, that's what Hormozy did this. And he basically got to a point in his life where he was like, I don't understand happiness. Forget it. I don't want to focus on being happy. And when he stopped focusing on being happy, years later, he said he got to a place where he was like, I enjoy my life. And he wouldn't have said that years ago. So anyway, that's just something on, like, if you're feeling like you're faking it a lot, this is not a tool to teach you how to fake it and never fix it. This is a tool to teach you how to choose to love somebody in the moment, but then go back and do the work you need to do so you're not always unhappy. I'm not promoting always being unhappy and just faking it. I'm saying if you're just having a bad day, but you still need to show up for somebody, these 3 things help a lot. And the first one, showing up honestly, I think this is a big one because you might come to an event and it's like people are expecting you to be your high energy self. Be like, hey guys, I love you guys, so I want to show up for this, but I ain't got it today. Maybe in 15 or 20 minutes that'll change, but I'm feeling pretty down right now because X, Y, and Z happened. But I still want to be with you guys. Is that cool with everybody? I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. Thanks for coming. Like, let us know if we can do anything. And so when you show up honestly, it sets the frame and goes a long way. Like, people are like, hey, he sacrificed what he would rather be doing when feeling negative emotion to like come hang out with us. Like, you could have said no. And so it goes a long way when you show up honestly and you're a little vulnerable. And also, you might give others permission to do the same. Ooh, what's that Marianne Williamson poem? I got to read that real quick. Yeah, Our Deepest Fear. For you Coach Carter fans out there. I just thought it was a Coach Carter poem, but no, it's a Marianne Williamson. Shout out Marianne. But we're going to hit this. Here we go. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And so if you're a person who gets to this point where you're feeling pretty crappy, and then you show up honestly, you might genuinely liberate somebody else from the pressure of dealing with that alone. Like, if you're able to come and say, which takes a lot of courage, that you're having a bad day because of X, Y, and Z. Are you guys okay with that? I showed up because I love you anyway. Somebody else might be having a bad day and they thought they had to bear that burden alone. Like, it's very easy to think that people won't care about your problems and that it feels like a burden to other people to even share your problems with them. So that's another perk of showing up honestly that I think could go a long way. Like, you giving other people the freedom to show up too and be honest with where they're at and not, not just hide it, if you will. And guys, I'm going to take a second here. I'm going to reevaluate the markets because it dropped a lot lower than I thought it was going to without going to that high that I initially thought it was going to. So it's kind of back in the fair value gap, which is interesting. Hasn't made any order blocks or anything, any bullish order blocks. If we're not careful, it's going to make a bearish order block here in a second. Yeah, I guess there's a bullish order block right where that low is. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it's nothing I'm trading. Looks ugly. So back to the stream. Got to pause. Make sure I'm not getting any chats. Make sure nobody's texting in or calling in. That was our segment, guys. We're gonna keep going on it though. I like this one. Do more than you usually would to engage people. And I say that it's not more than you usually would. It's more than you feel like you usually would because your baseline has decreased because of your emotion. Like when you're sad or when you're angry, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. Like I've experienced that where it's hard for me to get out of bed. And so if that's something you're experiencing right now, one, if it's consistent and persistent, please seek help. Like there are people who can talk to you about this who are way better equipped than I to help you with it. But if it's just a one-day thing, or you kind of know yourself and that's not what you need, I still might advise going out to try it. But either way, negative emotion can decrease your baseline. And so whereas like you're happy and you're like, oh yeah, I usually talk to people and ask questions and do this, that, and the other, right? When you're sad, you may be like, oh yeah, I usually talk to people, ask questions, do this, that, and the other. But the way you think you do it is just less. And then you're also feeling like not up to it. So you do less than the less that was normal. So you had your normal when you're happy. Now you're sad. So your perception of normal is less. And then because this is now your new perception of normal, you do less than that. So it's like double less is what you're doing because you feel down and you perceive everything in a more muted perspective. I'm saying going over the top of what you feel like you should do will return you to baseline uh, action, basically, of like, hey, we need to really get this going so we can start acting ourselves out of this bad mood because, it's hard to be. I was reading this book. It's hard to be angry when you're laying down. I feel like it's hard to be sad when you're really moving around. Like when people are sad, they have way depressed energy. Like they're slouching their shoulders. They're moping around. They're walking real slow. So if you're walking fast, talking fast, and laughing, it's hard to be sad. Even if you're like forcing those things, you're like your body's gonna be confused, your mind's gonna be confused. And so I'm not just saying force it and fake it and yada yada, but there's something to acting your way out of an emotion. So do with that what you will. And then the smile small. It's not a performance, but it is a choice. We don't want you to fake smile, like give people that big wide grin where it's like, I'm just so happy. But maybe we should call it the anime chuckle. It's like when your opponent in an anime does something crazy and you hear the little it's like you can make a quick sound, like a just acknowledge funny stuff, like laugh a little bit. It's like, oh, this sucks, and I want to be mad, but that was funny, like that type of smiling small. And you're gonna choose to smile at stuff. It's not like, I don't know. You don't have to just be a negative Nancy, but let's see if we can do a second segment real quick, and then we'll probably have to hop off the stream a little early. Nothing in the markets, guys. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little confused as to why this just started dropping like this. Like the market doesn't have to obviously do what I think it's going to do, but it does follow some principles. And I feel like it ain't following those principles. But what I will say, this is not surprising because I do think we're overextended. Like we've just been pushing higher and higher and higher. And anytime we're near the all-time highs, like trying to take a long into the highs, it's just tough because I'm like, this thing could turn around at any second. So I don't know how to put that in actual words in my strategy. And so I still took the trade, still got break even, like everything's good to go. But I'm not incredibly shocked that it's dropping like this because we were at the highs. And it can't keep going up forever, So just overextended. Something I noticed. So I guess that does make a bit more sense, but I still can't trade anything short because it's liquidity to liquidity. It's on its way to disrespecting this fair value gap. Not completely, but it is on its way, and it's back in that fair value gap, which I don't really know. It's kind of hard to take stuff long when it's looking like this, but alas. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I like this. I like this. Oh, yeah, I like this. Give me a second, guys. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try this segment out. So, guys, we're talking about community. We want to talk about how to find community. Like, that's one of the big things you need to do to get into community. Is like you got to find it. In order to find community, you have to be committed to community. You have to be committed to finding it, but also make a commitment to a community. And I think an aspect of making a commitment is just finishing what you start, which I know sounds silly, but because that literally is the definition of commitment. But to finish what you start, there's a few steps that go into it. And so a question that somebody might have is, well, okay, I'm trying to find community. In order to find community, I need to be willing to make a commitment. In order to be willing to make a commitment, I have to be willing to finish what I start or see it through. But how do I know when we're done? Like, a lot of communities don't gather for this reason or that reason. A lot of communities just kind of slowly come together and slowly fall apart. And so how do you know when you're done? How do you know when to leave a community? How do you know when to stay with a community? And those are some of the questions we're going to try to answer an aspect of today. So where I jump into this, here we go. Whoop. We need to decrease the zoom size. Let's see. You ever notice how most communities / groups start to fizzle? Well, here's how to finish strong in these kind of 4 to 5 ways. I'm going to reset that. You ever notice how most communities / groups start to fizzle? Here's how to finish strong, in my opinion. Most groups / communities die because no one agrees on what finished means. Defining an end goal gives everyone permission to stay motivated, celebrate, and make their natural exit. So do it in these 4 ways. 1, define done before you start. That could be 4 meetups, 1 project, or 1 event. The second thing you want to do is celebrate small wins. People crave completion, and it creates natural reflection points that can also become a natural endpoint when it makes sense. The third thing we want to do is give people roles so that everyone owns something. When there's nothing left to own, or your project is complete, or your part of the job is complete, it's a natural endpoint and a natural reflection point. The fourth thing we want to do is when the project is over, the thing we defined as done is now done. We want to debrief, celebrate, and decide if there's a next chapter. And a little bonus nugget here. When deciding if there's a next chapter, the best thing to do is pick an infinite game. When you're getting married, the goal is to stay married, not to get to some 20-year anniversary or 30-year anniversary. It's like we're staying married. When you're spreading the gospel, the goal is to spread it to as many people as possible. When you're in the game of business, it's to stay in business as long as possible. Pick an infinite game so that you can go from endless planning to shared closure if necessary, or community that rolls momentum forward when you're on that endless game. All right, guys, that was the segment. Gotta text my VA real quick what time it was at. And we'll go 44-ish minutes on 10:29. Always snapping to signal. All right. So that's the segment, guys. I want to double check the charts one more time. We're getting a little bit of a push up. Guys, I might have to take the trade again. I don't know, though. So we did just create a bullish fair value gap. There was a high that was just swept. Another high that was just swept. If this bullish fair value gap stays, I might have to be entering at 250 with a stop loss at 243. So it'll be 7 points, which is another 14. Oh, fair value gap just closed. That's good because I didn't want to take that trade. I really did not. Did not want to take that trade at all. And see, that's why I like the concepts, because there was about to be a CISD, But it didn't happen because the fair value gap didn't close. And it's like, okay, that means we still have a lot of bearish pressure. The bulls aren't coming to the party like we thought they were for a second. So anyway, there's that. We'll kind of finish out this segment. I like the idea of picking an endless game, guys, because, I have my stages of community. It's like you have small talk, consistent activity, vulnerability, more consistent activity, time on goal, time and money on goal, and then interdependence towards goal. And I think a big part of community is getting to stage 7. Like peak community in my mind looks like interdependence towards goal, where it's like we're putting our time towards it, we're putting our money towards it, and we're depending on each other to show up and have complementary skills such that it gets done. If you guys are doing all that thing, you're going to share a lot of life together. It's like you're going to end up eating together. You're probably going to be working out together. You're going to be working together, which means you're going to want to go have fun together. And if you were smart and pick something about work that you enjoy, you'll be having fun together at work. And so you'll end up going from, I don't know, 4 hours a week in that consistent activity, or maybe you're at 7 hours a week in the more consistent activity, 10 hours a week, to like easy 40, 50 hours a week. Like when you're working together, you're eating together, you're showing up together. It's like the problem is most of this happens at work. Like people are putting their time, their money, and their skill set towards a goal at work, but then most people don't take their work seriously. And so in a world where we all take our work more seriously, more community would be built around the thing we're trying to do. Because initially, like the work was to survive in the like village concept, but now we have so many conveniences in life. It's not as much survival as it is like stuff that isn't necessary to our survival. So you have to be acting out of other motivations, if you will. And money is a good proxy for that motivation, but only insofar as it helps people do more selfish things. And so then money doesn't have utility for a long time, which is why when you pay somebody just a living wage, you can keep them motivated to keep working for a while. But once people make money, they stop doing crappy jobs. Shocker. Right? Because the money doesn't mean anything. You have to incentivize me in other ways now. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I like that idea of picking an endless game. That's why I like business so much. I think it's a great way to do something meaningful with people who care. And I think that's what's missing in most communities. You lack shared experience, you lack shared focus, shared activity, and that just really slows down your ability to forge bonds because we only care about this one part of our life for 2 to 3 hours a week together, but I have 165 other hours. Like you don't even know me at all. Unless we've been sharing 2 or 3 weeks together for 152 weeks. Now we spent 300 hours together. It's like you start to know me a bit more. But that's 3 years of time. So 3 years at 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week to spend 300, 450 hours together. It's like, what if you just did that in 10 weeks? Because you spend 50 hours a week together doing something you both care about. How much closer would you guys be? And then after 3 years of doing that, I just think that's what's missing with community. It's like our work is often so disconnected from who we are that we choose not to work hard at it. We choose to just get it for the money. We choose to just do all these things. I'm like, when you're committing to finishing what you start together, it has to be something worth finishing. I think most people don't pick something in life worth finishing. So they never finish and they never find real community and we never intertwine our lives in a meaningful way. I think we ought to stop that. I think we ought to stop that. But, it's not always a practical. There's not always a practical way to do it. But I don't know, just those stages of community, like that interdependence towards goal. If that's peak community, I think it's because you are sacrificing the most to spend the most time together. And I just think about Young Life, how it's like we would spend money, not a lot because we were college students, but it's like money on gas to get to club. money on kids to like buy them food every now and then. We really didn't spend much money at all, but we spent a lot of time. It was like there was 20, 30 hours a week that we were doing the young life stuff where we were like planning club or doing club or having team meetings or going to leadership or planning campaigners or doing campaigners or following up with kids or grabbing a meal with kids or showing up for lunch or showing up for a football game or planning to show up for a football game, planning our contact work, like 20 hours a week, pretty easy. Yeah, definitely 15 to 20. Could be 30 sometimes, depends on what kind of stage you were in your leadership, what else was going on in your life. But then we would also hang out as a community. So it's like 20 hours a week, 15, 20 hours a week on mission, probably 25 to 30 hours a week just hanging with the people. So like genuinely anywhere from 30 to 50 hours a week, every week, I felt like I was seeing these people for like 3 to 4 years. It was pretty hype. And now I'm married to one of them. So yeah, I think it's a great way to build community, and she's great. In fact, I'm gonna go say hey to her like right now because I'm gonna wrap up the stream before this 8 a.m. work meeting and go say hi to her. But yeah, guys, I don't know, just that interdependence towards goal. Gracie, myself, Blake, Graham, Sierra, Izzy, like that was kind of the H-dub team. We had ALO in there for a little bit because we had merged, but it was like we were like doing meetings together and like showing up together. And like we needed each other to show up to pull off club. We needed each other to show up to pull off campaigners. We need each other to show up to like love on kids together. And when I say love on kids, it's because we were doing ministry to high schoolers. I feel like clips can get taken out of context, but it was like, anyway, yeah, so I don't know. Some people were good at organizing. Some people were good at like rallying the guys. Some people were good at rallying the girls. And it was like we needed all of that to pull it off. And it was just an awesome time, you know? Awesome time. But it's because we were focused on the same thing. And that's just so missing in adulthood because everybody's so segmented in their life because of money, basically. So anyway, that's my rant. I gotta go because I do have to get ready for this work call. Thanks for joining the stream, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, 7 a.m., where we try to go through a few more segments, try to take a few more trades, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip.